It's Darren here in Crampton, Northumberland. I'm in the shed. Today we're doing a radish curry. Now I'm using these radishes. I was given these seeds off a group on Facebook. It's a giant radish. I'm sure it's the way I've looked online, because I couldn't remember what they were called. I'm sure it's a Mooli radish, which is Mooli, I think. You can't get no larger than this because I think the world record is somebody in Northumberland who grew the biggest one ever. So this wasn't exactly in the best soil. I just grew them, put them in, but they're quite large. I've had a little taste of them. They're not that peppery, because normally when you get a radish it's quite peppery. So I'm assuming that these are, you know, blandish, so they'll absorb a lot of the flavours of the curry. I went online to have a look. I did see, I think it's mainly in India and all that, they must do a Mooli potato sort of curry. So I'm going to attempt that. So I'm hoping that these will take a lot of the flavour. So let's get cooking. So as you can see, I've prepped a lot of the stuff. As I was saying, the Mooli radish, I had quite a bit. So I am making quite a bit because I like to put some in tubs for work, so it's going to be quite a substantial curry. So obviously that's, I don't know, 4 or 5 radishes, seems quite a lot. There's about 5 onions in there, or 6, with about 2 cloves of garlic. I'm actually going to add some of my sweet from my garden as well, because that adds a little bit of sweetness, because when it's cooked. Some white snowball turnip, which has got that peppery taste as well, and obviously potatoes. Don't worry about the discolour, I didn't cover them by water, I should have done that. And I've got some peppers. So basically all of these are all from my allotment. Fantastic, that's the whole point of growing your own stuff, to make some food. And I've got some coriander seeds that I grew myself as well. So the spices I'm putting turmeric in, which is obviously for the colour, cumin, some Cajun seasoning. I'll have a little taste, see if I need to add a bit more, some chili flakes, obviously the coriander. I'm adding a couple of cloves because it gives that authentic sort of, like, it does Indian sort of taste. I've got some ginger pure, I haven't grown that yet, I will be doing that next year. A couple of tins of coconut milk, a tin of chopped tomatoes, and I'm going to use coconut oil to cook it all. So I'll be getting all these powders and spices, and I'll be blending them up into the NutriBullet. So I've got a nice powder to add. So let's get cooking. All the spices have been blended there. It's a teaspoon of each: turmeric, chili powder, cumin powder, the coriander seeds, probably a couple of teaspoons of that. Might seem a lot, but I like the flavour. It's got a bit of a lemony taste to it. I put 4 cloves in there, not too much, and about 3 teaspoons of normal curry powder, medium heat. So hopefully that'll infuse flavour into all the various vegetables that I've got here. So we'll see how it goes. So let's get cooking. So start cooking down the onions first, adding a little bit of the powder just so it infuses into the onions. You get a little bit of flavour, not too much. Obviously I've put coconut oil into here. Straight away you can smell it. Onions cooking and the garlic, a bit powder. Like I says, I don't want to put it all in. I want to basically do the onions and the various vegetables and infuse them all and then put them all together. Okay, so I'll cook them down. The onions have been fried off, cooked down. I don't want to fry them too much. A little bit of water to soften them down so that it infuse the spice mix. As you can see, I've got about half. I've got the bowl here. I've got about half of that in here. You know, I'm putting quite a bit in because I've got a lot of radishes, so I just want to use them up. You might not have the radishes that I've got, or you might have just the little red ones. Cut them up, do that. As you can see, I've put some more of the spice in. And if you want to add a bit more of the curry powder, like I say, not exact measurements, it depends how hot or what flavour you sort of want, but as long as you've got that base flavour for it, it should be alright. They're quite watery, but I do keep a glass of water added, so I sort of like cooking it but boiling it, softening up a little bit, not adding too much so the powder on the bottom doesn't stick and it gets burnt. I don't want to burn the vegetables, I want to infuse the vegetables with the flavour. Okay, so we'll get back once we've done that. So everything's been cooked down, the snowball turnip, the swede, the radishes, the onions, and now as you can see the potatoes, which are looking rather nice with the curry powder. And I've added a bit extra cumin on, a bit of coconut oil, just slowly fried off. When they're getting a bit of crisp on, just add a little bit of water, so it boils them down a little bit, and just constantly stirring. I've had a taste of them, they're not quite cooked. That's what I want them sort of al dente, not too mushy. I can add them to the curry or the pot, which was over there with the rest of the stuff. So we'll do the peppers next. So that's all the vegetables cooked with all the spices, all ready for the liquid. So we'll get that sorted. So now that everything's in the pan, we can start deglazing the frying pan that had all the vegetables and all the spices in. So I put 1 tin of coconut milk, and then the other tin of coconut milk. You could, if you wanted to, just put a little bit of water in, but I wouldn't bother. You can just put on a low heat, basically just getting all them spices that's burnt onto the pan. A bit like making a gravy, isn't it really? And the tin of chopped tomatoes. Just add a little bit of sweetness to the curry. Like I might have to add another tin of coconut milk if I've got one, or another tin of chopped tomatoes, because there's quite a bit of vegetables there and I want to make quite a bit. And obviously once it's all in there, I can taste to see if it needs more spices or I need to add something to sweeten it. Sometimes I would add some chili sauce, sweet chili sauce, to give it that bit heat and sweetness, lush. But we'll come to that once this is all done. Is everything added? All the ingredients, all the sauces, obviously the 2 tins of coconut milk and 1 tin of tomato chopped. I've added it. Felt like I needed a bit more liquid in it because a lot of vegetables were al dente, they weren't quite cooked through, which I didn't want them to be cooked. I want them, obviously, by the time I put everything together, to slowly simmer, so they infuse with all the flavours. I've added a tin of tomato soup. It might seem a bit strange, I don't know whether anybody does that. I do that sometimes. I want to add a little bit of sweetness to the curry. It doesn't change the flavour as long as you've got enough spices in it. It just adds that bit of sweetness in the background. So I'll let this simmer now and hopefully it'll be fantastic. And also normally I add a little bit of sweet chili sauce with that bit heat and a bit sweetness as well. Depends what you want. Do you want a curry that's just heat? Do you want a curry that's got heat with sweetness, which I do like, which I find is more flavour. Yeah, so hopefully you've enjoyed watching this little video of me doing this, using up vegetables that people don't really like using in the or like eating really. Turnips, radishes and swedes. A lot of people don't like them that I know of, so hopefully you can use them up and put in a curry like this. This is obviously an adaptation of a curry that I've seen. I think it's Mooli Kudish or something. I think it is like that, but I've just took parts of it and just tried to my best to like make it like this. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Comment if you want to, you know, just leave us a comment little any bit of knowledge that you know. So it's bye from me, Darren in Crampton, Northumberland. I'm in the shed. Thanks for watching the video. Cheers, bye.